Peace. You good, fam? Yeah. Every Monday, virtual check-in. Yo, shout out to my young Snacks, man. Little homie, man, known from Time, man, building. Yeah. Song's called Tables Turn. Big up, big up, big up. Check this out on Spotify, man. The young homie Snacks. Non-stop, man. Today we got a big topic, man, dealing with ego, man. Something that's inevitable, man. Can't escape it everywhere you go, man. But the question is how do we deal with it, man? How do we deal with ego? Yeah. Big up Snacks, non-stop. Yes. We here, man. We here. Going on strong, man. I see you got the tea popping. That's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. You good, fam, man. Big up to everyone pulling up, man. Big topics today, man. Like I said, man, it's nonstop. It's inevitable, you know, when we're dealing with humans and different personalities and perspectives, and hey, man, we're all just trying to figure out this thing we call life. You know, things aren't always as black and white as they seem. You know, I've learned my experiences, like many variables that go into certain actions and behaviors, and you know, things that we can agree with, things that we may not agree with, but you know, it is what it is, yo. It is what it is. So I'm currently, you know, doing what Symbolic is really good at, which is inviting hella people. So I'm learning. I'm learning the tricks of the trade, man.
Yo, like you alluded to, we're all learning, definitely. Yo, we got Stereo Official in the house, straight out of Nigeria. Big ups for being here, NXM fams.
Okay, man. International vibes, man. That's peace, man. That's how we doing it, man. That's one thing, again, like I love about this virtual space, man. Like so much, you know, like international connections have been going on. Like a lot of the conversations, you know, have people that are outside of Canada, man. So that's what's up. You know, big up to everyone's coming through, man. Today's topic, man, for you good fam, a virtual check-in, man, is, you know, dealing with ego, man. How do we work around that, you know, in the context of building community? And obviously this can go into like other spaces, whether it's like building with family, other relationships, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? So we're definitely going to get into it. We usually start off our virtual check-ins, start off our sessions with the check-in, our virtual sessions with the check-in. And, you know, we like to ask people about how they're feeling on a scale from 1 to 10. Let us know in the chat, man, which your level is at. 1 being not so great, 10 being amazing. I'll set it off, man. Right now, like I'm feeling like probably about an 8. You know what I mean? Slept in a little today, man. You know, it's kind of like holiday season as we're moving around, getting into the vibe with my kids, man. I'm gonna be heading out to Montreal soon to go collect my eldest. I got my youngest somewhere in the other room doing her thing, and you know what I mean? Just getting into this zone of just, you know, appreciating family and spending good quality time. And you know, this has been like an amazing year for like reflection, you know, a lot of progression, a lot of things that we've been able to build as SFA and as myself as an individual, man. So I'm just like really, you know, I feel really, really great, man. A lot of gratitude, man. Shout out to OG, man. Too Rude, man. Yo, man, I have to get him on the Reminisce Show podcast, man, on some vibe, but I'm gonna reach out to you a little later. That being said, yo, Symbolic, man, what are we saying, bro?
Word, I am saying.
Oh, you're still in the mix.
That's the last one. All right, that's what it is. Yeah. Those are the fortunate ones who know what's up. Our weekly check-in. Yeah. Yo, man, I'm all right, man. Did you say Too Rude? Rudimental in the place?
Indeed.
Big up.
Indeed.
Yo, we got some lineage. If heads who don't know that there's lineage, this hip-hop thing's got lineage, and it goes back, and it lives on and goes forward. And for that, I'm doing good. I would say, like, yeah, I've had some low energy days, but some positive. I had a satsang yesterday, which is a really grounding experience. I'll maybe talk a little bit about that afterwards.
Okay.
I'm peace. So I would say, to give it a number, I'd say, man, it just jumped from 8 to 8.5 just while this call
plugged in. Man. Okay, well, super big, man. Super respect, man. Yeah, man. So those who are in the chat, man, if you want to let us know what you're feeling, man, on a scale from 1 to 10, man, that would be super blessed. I'd like to keep this interactive, you know, connected, and you know, that's how we build a virtual community, man, wherever we are at in the globe, yo. Yeah, so you know, it's interesting, you know. So we were talking yesterday, and you know, through our group chat, and like, you know, the topic's always like, it's like, yo, what's the topic for tomorrow? And like half the time, like, I don't plan it, I don't know what the topic is until you ask the question, and then it just pops into my head, you know what I mean? So I was just like, oh, okay, we can deal with, like, you know, when it comes to building community and ego and just different personalities, right? Because like conflict, like miscommunication, like these are things that are just inevitable, you know, like, and I feel like it's a topic that's worthwhile, like, exploring, you know, especially when we're trying to do like the stuff that we're doing, you know what I mean? Like I know that we were talking, and you were trying to, like, you know, for as an example, like, this is where it came from, you know, like you're trying to set up like an interview with some folks and whatnot, and just trying to get clarity on like the intention and what like the larger picture is, and just trying to, like, you know, like work out getting all these different people involved into this particular, like, you know, concept or idea, you know, but then like having like a bit of miscommunication and not having all like the correct information, and things are missing out. So when that energy is created, it leaves a lot of room for like assumptions, and then, you know, it leaves people for their own devices. And then when that happens, that can create like frustrations, and then like, and that can even like turn you off from even like the intention of like the initial like connection, which is like, oh, this is a good idea, let's, you know, come together and build. But then like it's becoming work, you know what I mean? And one thing that's for sure, man, when it comes to building community, yo, it's work, you know, any kind of, and this is not just community, man. This is like building like any business, really. Like if you're building a business, if you're creating something and you want to have more than one person on board, there's going to be a lot of stuff that come with that, right? So so that's why, like, for me, like, I'm really big on just like, you know, like transparency, like really striving to be really clear with like my messaging and how I like speak, you know. So if you notice, like I talk in a very like clear, like you almost can't like misinterpret like what I'm saying, especially if I'm like texting. That's one of the reasons why I like texting, because I can, like, well, for one, it's documented, you know what I mean? So that if there's any kind of confusion, we can always go back to it or whatever. And then it's also just clear, and, you know, you can read it or whatever. But anyway, so that's kind of like where that came from, you know, the idea of discussing that, because we're in a space right now where there's a lot of innovation. There's a lot of like creations, a lot of things coming on, man. You know, big up IMT family, man. I don't know if you want to join the conversation. You're always welcome. Please let us know. We're talking about building community, you know, and how we working around ego, man. So many different personalities and all kinds of stuff going on. And, you know, we all have good intentions, but sometimes intentions are just not good enough.
I was going to say, do we though? Do we all of us?
Well, I mean, we can get into it. That's a very good question. That is a very good question. You know, well, we would hope that we all have good intentions, because, you know, sometimes we have good intentions, but our delivery is just not, you know, producing the results that we desire, right? So that's what's up, man. Big up. We got Calgary in the house.
Can you see the breath?
Hey, man, it's like mad cold out there, man. It's like what, like -20 a lie?
-25. I'm very -26. I'm very thankful that my car started. It took a couple goes, but whew, it started. We're good.
Y'all don't get, y'all get some serious weather out in the west side of Canada, man. Like the altitude, all of that, man, it's just a different vibe, man.
Fort McMurray is worse. I'm thankful I'm not there. Those guys get like -40 and stuff.
Wow. So for them, like a -20 is like a walk in the park. It's like, oh, nice.
It's a breeze.
Man, that's different, yo. Well, we're definitely glad to have you here, man. Appreciate you, representing.
Thank you.
You know, Yeah, definitely. I mean, well, you know, like before we get into the topic, might as well just like check in, you know. Oh, we got the spinning wheel. Hopefully she can
Uh,
still hear us. No, because sometimes that happens, but we can still get the audio. So
uh,
we'll see if she can, like, you know, check in and let us know how she's feeling on a scale from 1 to 10. If not, then we can just jump right back into our topics.
well, in the meantime, let me just
Yeah.
give one quick shout out. We got Droids of Xeon. That's my crew from the out in the world. Daima, Black NFT, and all that. Oh, I see she dropped off for a second, but big up to my fam out in here. TL Chubb. I'm sorry, I'm butchering it for sure, but big ups to you. And AI also from the Black NFT Daima family. So yeah, TL gives a good morning. We welcome and encourage you to check in. How you doing on a 1 to 10? We find that it goes up, up, up. We got Kos Couture, my fam from out in Ghana in the house. Chief Fanny's back.
Yes. We got Nigeria, we got Ghana, we got Calgary, Toronto.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yo, I just wanted to say Chief Fanny's back with practical effects. She's got that original Star Wars practical effects going on. All right. Yeah, the globe is in the house. Yeah.
I love it, yo. Well, that being said, yo, let us know like how you're feeling on a scale from 1 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an 8.
Okay. Despite being in minus. Sorry?
I'd be a 10 if I couldn't see my breath.
Oh. Oh man. Well, hopefully, like, you know, your car will heat up soon time, man. Like, oh man, this is I know those days, man, where the car is just ice.
Oh my God! I was thinking that it was a thing you were blazing. That's straight. Just
It's been a
well,
both.
now
it's a combination. Okay. I got you. Yeah. All right, I get you.
Gotta keep warm, man. You gotta find ways to get through it, yo. All right.
It's nice. It's coming. It's fine.
All right, man. That's peace, man. So, yo, man, for those who are just joining us, man, this is Monday Check-In, you good fam. Let us know how you're feeling on a scale from 1 to 10. 1 being not so great, 10 being amazing in the chat. Today's topic, man, is building community, like outside of ego, man, because if anybody has tried to, like, you know, work in a collective, whether this was like, you know, a group project at school, you remember those back in the day? Those group projects and the presentations, and like, you know, maybe somebody's not pulling their own weight and you got to do this and that and try to figure out how can we be supportive, you know what I mean? Like, how can we be proactive and not reactionary, you know, in that context? And, you know, as we're creating these spaces and being innovative digitally, physically and whatnot, you know, and bringing on more people, you know, like right now, this is easy. 3 people on the conversation is easy. Imagine having 20 people on the conversation. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody is going to agree, and that's natural. I personally don't want to be around yes men all day. Like, it's nice for my ego to have people around me that are just like, yeah, Logic, you're great, you're da-da-da-da-da. But I like critical thinkers, you know what I mean? Because that's how you grow. And even if it's like things that I don't necessarily want to hear, I know that in the longer run, like, this is what I need to hear, you know, different between wants and needs, right? So so that being said, but I'm curious to know, like to Fanny, man, since you're, you know, like out in Calgary, and, you know, I like this, like, kind of like national vibe. You know, like when it comes to, like, you know, I guess some of the challenges with like ego, like what are some of your experiences, especially when it comes to, like, you know, whether this is like a music collaboration or an organization that you were working with, you know, clashing of different perspectives, and it's just like, yo, like what has been some of your experiences?
I would say the biggest experience that I remember would be the platforms out here. So a lot of times, you know, we all have platforms in the city that put on artists, but out here I found up until maybe this year, it was the platforms would support the people that they know and their friends. And if it's like a rival, like there's one female rapper, there's one dope rapper, there's, you know, there's one per lane kind of thing, and they're all friends. And it wasn't until this year that more platforms started popping up and actually just, you know, promoting whoever. Like, it doesn't matter, whoever's popping. If you're doing something, you know, right away, or you're dropping an album, doing a show, I feel like the platforms are more for everybody now, which is better for building community, like getting rid of the ego. So what if you don't like this platform or that platform doesn't like you? Doesn't mean that the artist can only go on that platform. You know what I mean? So that was really big for building the community. Shout out WH Calgary, just because they came and they're doing big things and they're building the gap between the UK and Calgary right now.
So what comes to my mind is that pretty much that same thing happened in Toronto. Like the 90s stuff was on lock. There were some epic peeps, so I give them respect. But one of the things that Cryptic Souls our crew did, which when I say that, like our guy who we had big ego issues with, but I won't. That's not what I'm focusing on right now. Is he innovated and embraced everyone? So our crew was like the bastard crew that like would have like if you're doing hip hop then. And then they organized like Planet Mars and so forth, and it was just anyone who wanted to be on stage. So previously to that, it was really on lock. Like if you wanted to get on, you had to be down with one of the like 3 radio shows with the right DJ, know who the promoters were to get on stage. So yeah, as you say that, it's like wow, how things go in cycles. I also just want to say that AI design is a 10, and I'm happy to hear that one. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what came to mind. Like, you guys are at a point where it's a powerful point. It can be, well, I mean, just based on how I see how things have played out in terms of underground hip hop in Toronto, it can be risky. Like, what you do at this point as things are, starting to flourish, and I love that there's this international connection right now. So when you said we're connecting with, I'm like with what, Toronto, with the UK word. That's how the world is right now. So I think it's really exciting.
Hi.
Say hello. Yeah, it's my little assistant. Like everything you're saying is so true. And that kind of filters over like not just like in the music scene, but also in like the community service sector. Because as much as I don't like to say it, like it's very much like an industry as well. I almost can't tell the difference between like the service sector and then like the like corporate sector. It's almost like literally like it's pretty much the exact same thing, just this different language or whatever. And one thing I've realized like is the common thing is like a lot of ego, and when it comes to access is like relationship based. Like as everybody's talking, I'm like, yeah, because it's like, okay, what prevents someone from having access versus someone who doesn't? You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of it's like like who and whatnot. So same thing when it comes to funding and grants. It's like you got to build like relationships with like the funding sector. I mean, yeah, you can apply, but like that may just fall on deaf ears, even if you have like an amazing proposal. You know what I mean? Like if you don't have like a specific name to refer to based on any kind of structure, this includes festivals as well. Like figure out the people behind the scenes and whatnot, because otherwise you're just going to be doing this thing. Because I think like in that case, like the ego, I mean, there's a few things that come to mind. Like one, if people don't really understand you or your message, then it's hard for them to like be invested in, to buy in, regardless if you have good intentions or not. If they don't know you, it's like, well, I don't know. And then the second thing that comes to mind when it comes to ego is like oftentimes like people want to see you doing well, just not better than them. You know what I mean? So that's like another ego thing. So it's like, if I help this person, they may surpass me, and I don't want that. So therefore, I'm not going to help them. You know what I mean? So I see like a few different things of ego becomes very like possessive, and that like holds things down. Because my experience with ego, whether it's like building like an organization or like a rap crew or like any kind of like collaborative in general, like like most people want to be validated. Like that's really what it boils down to. A lot of like what drives the ego is validation, and that validation of like ownership, to be like, I started this, I created, I'm the reason why you have opportunities, I'm the reason why you are even in some type of position. Like like that's that's ego driven to me. You know what I mean? Like when people are more, yeah, go ahead. You want to add on to that?
No, I was just saying it's like you owe me.
Yeah, exactly. You owe me. And it's like, if it wasn't for me, you would not be here or whatever. So like bow down, kiss the ring type of deal. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, you know, I've experienced that in multiple ways where, you know, someone may, you know, give me an opportunity and I'll take that opportunity and make it into something great. And they're like, hold on, whoa, what are you doing? Because now they're not in control of what, like, for example, say I get put onto a show. Okay, so I'm on this show now, and then, you know, while I'm at that show, I'm networking because that's what I do. You know what I mean? Like once I'm in the building, I'm in the building. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna, you know, utilize and do that. And you know, because again, everything is relationship based. You know, someone may catch my vibe and be like, "Yo, I rock with you. Yo, take my card and this and that." And before you know, that creates another opportunity. And then the initial person who plugged me in may be like, "Oh, how come you didn't reach out to me? How come I'm not da da da?" And it becomes this like weird thing. And you know, not realizing that there's like a changing of the guard that needs to happen too, you know, when you're working as a collective. Like there's going to be times where I'm going to be a leader, there's going to be times where I'm going to be a follower, and I think it's really having that discernment to know the difference. But like when you're in your ego, you don't see that. It's just more like, what could I get? Like I need to be in everything, you know what I'm saying? So I've seen that happen with many crews, and you know, especially in the rap game, things could have got really violent, you know. Things could have been really tragic, you know, to be honest, you know, but it's wild, you know, but it's something that we need to talk about and to build on, man. So, yo, people who are just joining us, man, we're talking about building community, dealing with ego, man. If you want to let us know some of your experiences, you know, add that in the chat for sure. Tiffany, go ahead. Yeah.
I have, well, two part, but basically short, I promise. But I am newer into the music scene. Like I'm probably, this is my third year now. And I definitely felt I want to help you, but you can't be better than me, you know? And it was like, and I just started rapping, so like a lot of people that genuinely wanted to help me, they could see like, you know, like you got like potential, let me just, you know, work you in that way. But for the most part, it was, I'll give you like opportunities, but like it'll be last minute, so if you can make it, you can make it. Or, you should work with this person, so I'll work with it, and then the song never comes out. Or, you know, it's always, I'll help you, but like you're doing big things right now, and like if I help you even more, you're gonna be, eh. But I will say, just last week, I did a show at the Palomino, which is like mostly white people, and I got denied for a grant that I had applied for. I literally just got the email, but I met somebody networking that night who works for like the Calgary Arts Development and all of that, and she gave me her card and was like, apply again, use my name, da da da. And I was like, really, that's how it's done? That's how it has to happen. I can't just apply. But now that I've met somebody and they saw me doing a live performance and they were impressed, now maybe I can apply again and get those grants. Like that's how this works, I suppose.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And back to that ego, I can feel it, and it's all about like connections and networking and who you know. Unfortunately, hi Dad, I see you. Hi Dad. Patterson Green.
That's what's up. Yo, like that's exactly what it is. So this is why I go back to like the concept of like, you know, relationship building, and also like understanding the people that you're building with. You know what I mean? Like the people who are in the section, you almost have to like understand, like, I don't know if you all heard of like the different like love languages. Like, are you familiar with that? Shoot, man, I can't remember like all of them right now, but there's like, you know, for example, like for in terms of how people like to receive, you know, love or whatever. So for some people it's gifts. You know, they like physical things that like show them like, you know, care and admiration or whatever. Some people is like acts of service. You know what I mean? So that's how they would rather like receive love, like you're helping me or whatever, you know. Or some people it's like quality time, you know. That's how they like to, or like, you know, like touch. I believe like those are like some of them. I'm sure there's more that expand out or whatever. But, you know, like understanding, you know, people in that, like in terms of like their needs is like a very crucial way of building community. You know, like that's one thing I've learned, because I can have an idea of what I feel that you need and how you need to receive certain things. you know, and it's like, you know, so I'm giving you all these gifts, but like what you really need is quality time. You know what I'm saying? So it becomes something different. I'm like, well, I'm showing you love. And then the person who's on the receiving end is like, no, you're not showing me love because that's not how I want to receive it, you know? So then it becomes this clash. So that's one thing that I've learned, you know, it's really about, okay, who am I dealing with? Okay, this is like an egotistical person that may have like certain insecurities and needs to be, you know, I need to frame my questions in certain ways. I need to like include them in certain ways and to be mindful of that in order to like, you know, make this work if I choose to, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, go ahead. Sorry?
Well, just with that, like, how do you feel about feeding ego? I feel like I do that quite a bit. Like, if I run into somebody who's like not a friend of mine, but in the music industry, but I know that they kind of they run off of the ego, and if I don't feed it, then we're not cool. You know what I mean? But would you feed into that per se? Would you be, or would you just be like,
yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I think like two words that come to mind is like this mindset of lack and then a mindset of abundance, right? Because like when I think of ego, it's coming from a place of lack. Like, you know, like how you mentioned, like the one person who had like, you know, the card and was part of like, you know, the funding stream or whatever. And they're like, oh, here, like this and that, or someone who wants to like help you and put you on a show. Like they're coming from like the mindset of abundance, you know what I mean? Because they're not threatened by it. They're like, here's an opportunity, like whatever, like I want to contribute because there's more than enough to go around. So there's other people who are like, nah, like I'll call you last minute. Like, exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's that lack, you know what I mean? Because for them, they're like, okay, maybe I could give this opportunity to someone else that may translate into a bigger opportunity. And then if they're not available, then I'll reach out to you. Just keep you around, you know? So that feeds their ego because now they're still connecting to value and they're able to like, you know, pull on whoever, you know, and they feel empowered because you're at like their, you know, at their disposal or whatever. You know what I mean? So those are two things. So when it comes to like, you know, like feeding the ego, I think it's just more so about like understanding like where they're coming from, like where their needs, and then align and figuring out what that value is. But I think like when it becomes challenging is when you're feeding the ego and then you're also feeling like you're compromising yourself. You know, I think that's where like the conflict like happens, you know, like so that's how you know if you're like, you know, you're feeding someone's ego and you know that you're conflicting within yourself. That's how you know there's something like problematic. And now it's like, okay, how can you, if this is someone who's important that you feel that you need to work with, because you know you may not need to, right? So, but if you feel to like if you're in a work setting, you know what I mean, and you're around these people, and it's like I'm gonna see you every day. I kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like it's about like sorry.
At one point it comes to like I'm doing it for my own sanity kind of thing. Like it's like I'm doing it to keep
it really is a dance. You know, big up to Nancy Creations. Yeah, we're dealing with ego, man, and building community, you know, whether it's in the music scene, whether it's in the social sector scene, whether it's building an organization, whether it's family, you know, it's you know, there's different needs, man. There's all kinds of things that we have to consider. And some of the things we were just discussing is about like the mindset of like abundance versus like lack. You know, and usually when there's lack, that's like the ego, because the ego is trying to like collect and hold on and maintain power, because they feel that if they let go of it, they may become worthless and have no power. But when you're in a position of abundance, it's like, I have no power, I have no problem sharing my power with you. Matter of fact, I have no problem empowering you, because there's more to go around. It's not taken away from me. I'm still going to be powerful regardless. You know what I mean? Like, but if I can help you, I'm going to help you. You know what I mean? But it takes like a certain level of self-understanding to get to that place, you know, and then, you know, different experiences and whatnot, you know? So I don't know, like Symbolic, man, you got anything to add on, man, when it comes to like, you know, abundance and scarcity in the context of ego? Like how have you seen that shown up in different ways?
Yeah, certainly, man. But you're dropping gems over here, man.
Okay.
I feel like we need to send you a check afterwards. Thank you, doctor. No, it's just I don't know.
What stands out?
What
stands out to you?
Well, just that you brought in the scarcity and that perspective, and I just love how you really approach it. Like how you earlier you said we all want to, you know, I don't remember the exact word, but we all want to do good basically, or you know, be, and I'm like, you know, and I'm mulling it over, and I'm like, yeah, like everyone does want to be good, but some things put us in this position that, like, people act wild out here.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, why would you do that to me, or, you know, things like that. But, you know, what are those conditions that make us, you know, we fundamentally see ourselves as separate than our world and the people around us. And so that's broken already. So we're already set up to misbehave, let's say, trying to be individually happy. And we don't know that if we don't have community, you know, we hear these stories about people who like jack their own like children and parents and brothers and sisters and things like that. And it's like, how could that? I can't even imagine. But it's like, yeah, I just feel like we're almost there when we're so individualistic. So I really appreciate this conversation talking about ego and like what, I mean, even, you know, it makes me think like what within me would make me act like in a way that I wouldn't be proud of. And I'm not saying that I never have. I'm not like a saint angel or anything like that. So like it just makes me interrogate like myself, like what kind of scenarios, because sometimes let's say with that, the example you talked about before, like I'm ready to like cut someone off. And I also know like a part of it is what we talked about last week, which was very emotional, about like abandonment, right? So like instead of risking, like you talked about as well, you shared, and it was like I have similarly, but how I'll speak for myself, how I end up dealing with it is if I see something that I think is risky, someone that's ready to act a fool, then I'm like, or in my perception, my understanding, maybe potentially it's just a story in my head, that I'll be like, nah, I don't know. Like maybe just take a few steps back. Maybe I'll see him, maybe I won't. So all of that comes to mind. I see we do have both comments. Well, I was going to say comments and someone jumping up. So yo,
I saw Haiku jump in. That's my I don't even know how to explain it, but that's my everything. That's my like side.
That's what's up. Abundance, man, abundance.
Your fam is our fam.
Yeah.
So do you want me to get into Anand's creation has something there? She said, great topic today. This is a hard one for folks, especially when we need to check one another on our egos and its limitations. For real.
Yeah, man.
So,
that's what it is, man. You know.
Haiku says yes. Come to check in. That's it. That's how we do. A big fist from
big up.
Site. And then Haiku says we're surrounded by abundance.
Yeah, man. That's what's up, man. We set our own limitations. Yeah, and that's ego. You know, because ego is like, you know, like just like I gotta collect, I gotta hoard, I gotta maintain power. Hey yo, big up, man, the dying thief, man.
Yo, respect, King.
Yo,
blessings.
Man's broadcasting live.
Kings and queens.
Man's broadcasting live from the motherland, yo. Look at the man them's glow, eh? Look at him.
Bird. Yo, where you at?
Respect, blessings. How's everybody?
Yo, man, we're doing well, man. I seen you plugged in. I was like, yo, man, brothers out there, man, in the motherland in Ghana representing, man. Man's looking real godly right now, man. Melanin popping.
Respect. Yeah, man. Nice son, you know what I mean?
I feel you, man. But yo, like, I would love to hear your perspective, man, on just like building community and dealing with ego. Because like you deal with a lot of different personalities and energy, whether it's like working with young people, whether it's working in an agency, whether it's the music scene, you know. I'm curious to know, like, what have been some of your challenges, and then what have some of been like your tools and resources to kind of like transform that type of energy?
Okay. I want to shout out the woman is not so strong with the females in most cases. You know what I mean? They're different. You know, different genders. I guess it matters in these settings. The genders. You know what I mean? I have less problems with the female. You know, and maybe because they're female and I'm male, and you know what I'm saying. It kind of brings off a. But when it comes to youth or young adults or whatever, there's a lot of testosterone. You know what I'm saying? Like I almost got into a few fights, like hold me back type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like crazy. You know what I mean? But I have to humble myself too. Like so, if I'm the adult or I'm the person with the knowledge, I gotta be able to humble. But sometimes they cross those lines. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't really know that you're really trying to help them. I don't know what they think you're doing, but we're trying to help. So sometimes they get that mixed up with, I don't know, there's some competition or some ego, not ego. Well, you could say that ego a little bit. Male testosterone popping up, you find that. But once they know you, everything changes. So after you get over that hump, you know what I'm saying, everything changes. They love you and they really looking out. They really understand you looking out for them, and they will get a life for you type stuff, like some street stuff. You know what I mean? So it's just a challenge. But what I would say, it's going to take a lot of patience from the person that is providing that support. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people coming from different broken homes. A lot of people don't have fathers, right? So I got to be the father, you know what I mean? So I got to, and fathers do rail up on their children as well, you know what I mean? Beating time, you know what I mean? Discipline time. So you still got to have that. But it's challenging. But I think if any person that does this work have a passion to do it, you're going to get through all that. All that skills is going to come with time. As long as you don't quit, you don't give up. You know what I mean? I'm never going to give up on no one. Everybody know that I work with them. I hold it down for them, even if they go back to prison multiple times. Even if I got to tell them, yo, I'm disappointed in you, because I got to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? We got no time to play games or to hold hands, some soft thing, right? I got to be like, yo, you messed up. What's going on? How you keep going to jail? Like, you got to be real as well. You know what I'm saying? Then you have, I don't want to take up too much of time, and I'm bouncing from a meeting still. So, but
okay. It's all good.
Anyway, but thank you for having me, man.
Yeah.
Then you have people that's doing the same type of work as you are jealous. You know what I'm saying? And that hurts the most. You know what I mean? The youth, I could understand the struggle. They don't have a father figure, and it's a lot of emotions going through them. But for an adult, like why me and you going to be in any competition? Logic. I see you. I'm going to say, bro, do your thing. And you've been doing excellent work. You know what I mean? How can I help you? How can you help me? That's how we're supposed to move. We cannot have this same mentality as the street dudes. We do. We might not say we're street, but we have this, oh, that's my territorial, and I'm doing this. Oh, men think he's better than people because what you talking about? We trying to make a difference in these kids' life, man. Stop wasting time. Get out the way if that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, I'm still patient for those people to come around too. But you do have a lot of people competitive. You know what I mean? Oh, you're posting this, and they don't like you posting this. And listen, they show everything they show everything on social media. If I'm doing good for people, I want the world to see it, because you know what I want to happen? I want it to trend. I want them to say, oh shoot, I'm gonna post this, and then we start seeing good and stop seeing all this negative stuff. So don't be mad at people posting good things. You know what I'm saying? There's another thing, and this is probably a little bit off topic, but I'm gonna bring it back. You got people like helping the homeless and the poor. You understand? You probably have somebody who probably want to do a gram thing, and you could selfish, but you could tell the ingenuity. You could tell the real from the fake. You understand what I'm saying? So we want to show people that good is being done. I need to see that more, because you know what happened? What me seeing it inspired me. Now I'm doing it. You see what I'm saying? So when I see people doing good, I'm like, oh shoot, that's dope. I want to do that. So we want other people to aspire to do good things. So we're going to do good things. We're going to post it. We're going to show it. Let the world see good. Let it trend. Because when they throw a chair out the window and box a person in the head, or they do some dumbness, everybody start following, right? You know what I mean? I'm looking at the Instagram, and I'm just seeing all the TikToks and how it just got everybody doing kind of foolishness, being goofy. I'm not condemning it, but I'm just saying, like, you see everybody goofy, or you see the picture, and everybody doing the same thing. So okay, that's the nature of it. So why don't everybody do some good things too? Throw it in there, mix it in there. You understand what I'm saying? And that's all I gotta say, man. We're not competing, man. I'm not competing against none of my brothers and sisters. I'm gonna build you up, whatever capacity you work in, and I gotta figure out how we're gonna work together. That's it. Unity, strength.
Let's go, man. Yo, before we get into the comments, man, I want to big up brother Eddie, man, broadcasting live from Ghana, the motherland. As you can see, man, he got that shea butter glow, man. It's looking great. But yo, everything that he's saying, that like you see how he lit up as he was explaining things, like that's what I was talking about the mindset of abundance. You know what I mean? Because even how we connected, you know what I mean? I've seen him around in community, and then like I reached out to him. I was like, yo, like I gotta build. And you know what I mean? Like he plugged me in and I plugged him in, and it was just like a natural vibe. It was like we started getting hype off of each other. We started going back and forth and building each other up. It wasn't like, yo, man, Eddie's shining and working with these street youths, man. I'm trying to do that, man. Like, yo, he's taking my spot. It's like, you know, it's wild.
We'll never get nowhere. We'll never get nowhere like that.
Go ahead, Stefan.
I wanted to say, like, Dying Thief, have been a fan since the Keep Six performance last year, Christmas. You know?
Yes.
I wanted to say, I think it would be amazing if everybody in here went and obviously follow Dying Thief if you're not already, and go repost anything that he's doing. Anything. Go find his page, repost it, so we have pure positivity. We can have a good. We got what, 13 people in here right now. So let's do that, because I'd love to see. You know what I mean? I'd love to see more positivity and focus on what we're doing.
True indeed, man. True indeed. Yeah, man. So that being said, like, I mean, because I know, like, we got Eddie here. I just want to just add one more thing in. It's like, so because, you know, dealing with ego is inevitable, and especially from an organizational standpoint, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and I mean, I know, like, you know, you work with certain people, so I don't want to be like too specific, but just in a general aspect, like what have you done to like kind of like work through that? Like, you know what I mean? Like there's obstacles, there's barriers. What have you done to get over?
Exercise patience and humbleness. You understand? The thing about it, at the end of the day, people can want to hate and have a bitterness, but if you show them nothing but kindness and you don't give them that resistance, it's going to change. People going to break down. You know what I mean? Even the gangsters dude or whatever, you show them patience and respect, it's going to change. So a lot of things, and I'm a person that kind of like, I'm excited. I want things done, and I'm kind of pushing. But I do see the pushback in certain settings and stuff like that. So I got to just humble, regroup, you know what I'm saying, and just sit and just wait. And if I can't wait, sometimes things you can't wait, you got to just find a way to move on. You understand what I'm saying? So that's it. You got to really exercise patience and humbleness. And it don't come easy, because we get in our feeling. We're all human. So everybody got some point where they get in their little feeling. You understand? I told you I almost had some fights, right? So I got seriously in my feelings. You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes it happens with people above you. You know, the race factor, so many different things that contribute, and it will really make you angry. You know what I'm saying? And we as Black people, we got a lot of anger. Just our existence, just our history, just our experience. So we got a lot of that. And sometimes these things will trigger it. You understand what I'm saying? But you always got to remember this. You got to be professional. You got to be humble. You know what I mean? And this thing, I think it's spiritual growth. You know what I'm saying? Once I exercise this humbleness, I'm bench pressing humbleness. You know what I mean? And then when I keep doing it, guess what happened? I grow spiritually. You know what I'm saying? I learn how to deal with people. And this is something I have to demonstrate with the people that I serve. Like, yo, you can't do this. You can't do that. So I gotta exemplify it. Right? I gotta be the example. So easier said than done, but this is what it is for real. And I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
So long story short, before I pass over to Symbolic to get into the chats, long story short is like there's moments where you got to be a participant, and then there's moments where you got to be the observer. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's like the hardest thing, and that's like the difference. You know, sometimes you got to sit back and just observe. And I really love like what you said about, you know, showing kindness and whatnot, especially when people know they don't even deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're doing everything to get you reactionary, everything to get you so you can just like start flipping the desk and be like, see, I don't feel safe. We got to get him out of here. And you're just like on some like, you know, peaceful vibes, because these people need, I don't want to call them vampires, but like vampires need energy to siphon, you know what I mean? But if you're not giving them anything, eventually they get tired, and then they're just like, yo, like, all right. And then just keep moving around, yo. So like that is spiritual growth. Like that is it in a very like tangible, direct way. That's how you know you're going spiritually, when you're not reacting the same way how you once would have. You know what I mean? They call you the N-word or whatever, man. You want to spaz on them, and now you're just like, nah, I see it for what it is now. You're not going to get me like that. You know what I mean? So big up to you. And that's a real tangible example. Symbolic, man. Go ahead in the chat, yo.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to add, though, also humble. Humble is something that you know, in our society, we don't emphasize this much, but it's really the space where, like you were saying, we can spiritually grow, we can personally grow when we're humble. When we're not humble, we, like, all kinds of wrong can go down, like you were mentioning. So yeah, big ups. I'm loving this conversation is what I'm saying. All right, so we go in the comments. We have Anand's Creation saying, oh, that was way, just when you jumped in, I had to make sure to have this one. Love the vegetation in the backdrop.
Ghana, yo.
Ghana, yo. Oh, man. My fingers slipped there. All right, so we got Freedom of Flow saying knowledge. And Freedom of Flow is my crew, NXM, out in Nigeria. Big up to you. Big up King, Tang King. As I'm scrolling. Williams, big up to you. All right, Anand's Creation says, I've learned it's about managing different energies. And the more we can practice compassion and patience, we can get to greater possibilities. Yep, 100%. Yo, Kemya in the building.
Salute.
Freedom for Jay says, I'm here in California prison right now.
Yes.
Yo.
Free my man up, brush.
For real. And you know, this connection with family and community is something, you know, in that moment. And may it just be, better times. Free up. Freedom, yeah, Jay. Sorry?
Yo, let's get him on here, yo. I'm looking at him and it says Freedom for Jay Burton, man. So he wants to get on here, man. So I think
Freedom for Jay Burton, man. Innocent man doing mad years, 30 years, I believe, in prison, man. Shout out to him.
Let's plug him in, man. I don't know. Oh, where did Tefani went out? Okay. That's peace, man. Well, yo, let's see if we can get Freedom for Jay Burton. Hey, man, like, we got California, man. I'm loving this, man. This is all stolen from Africa energy right now, man. This is what we're all about. Building, man, connecting. Hey. Hopefully, hey.
How my brother's doing?
Yes, my brother.
How y'all doing out there?
Peace.
Can y'all hear me?
Cool. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I'm out here in California, man. I'm a political prisoner out here in California. And I've been doing this for the last 32 years.
Man.
I mean, I love what y'all was saying. I had to tune in.
Let's go.
I had to tune in. I love what y'all was talking about. And bless y'all, man. I'm glad y'all speaking our truth up in here. How you doing? Yeah, I'm glad y'all speaking. I'm glad y'all speaking our truth up in here. I mean, this is real. And it don't just start over in California. It's all over the world. And I tell you, when I heard y'all, you know, I don't supposed to have a phone, so I don't even care. I've been doing it for 32 years, so I'm going to do what I want to do because I got to continue to get the word out, and I'm glad you guys are doing the same thing. Man. I'm humble, and I, you know, I'm just so appreciative right now because, I mean, y'all was saying everything. Y'all was saying everything, and thank you. Thank you for speaking for us because we are the voiceless. You guys are the voice. So we need to continue to, you know, get the word out there so people can understand what is actually going on in here. And I'll let you guys see that I'm actually in a maximum security prison. I'm going to let people see what it look like up in here. Hold on, let me let people see what it look like.
Man.
You guys see? This is what a California maximum security. We kind of like still on that COVID lockdown, so you don't really see that many people out. Hey, Taha, how you doing, brother? Come here real quick. Come here. Look at it though. This is an elder brother right here. He been down almost 50 years, y'all.
Man.
They said salute to you. This them.
Wow.
Yeah, that brother been down almost 50 years right there, man. He's one of our elders. Yeah. Power to the people, man. These are the people. That's the people right there, y'all. Hold on, I'm gonna let you. Yeah, that's brother Taha back there.
Man.
He said y'all keep doing the work because it's needed, bro.
Man.
Yeah. Holla, bro. Yeah, so when y'all was speaking my topic, I said, look, y'all need to bring me on. Bring me on.
Oh, man. Yeah. Absolutely, yes. Man. I mean, yo, like, you know, as we build, man, this is like such an honor and privilege to have you on here. I'm just blown away by like your energy and your spirit of hope and resilience right now. You know, I can only imagine like what you're experiencing, and like I feel emotional right now. I'm not even gonna front, man. Like just like this is so unexpected. Like we got Ghana, we got California. Like this is just, you know, as someone who started, you know, Stolen from Africa, like this is all I ever wanted, man. It was for
me too.
People, man. Like that's it, yo. Like real simple, man. And
yeah, I really appreciate y'all. And this is like a global event right here, a global meeting of the minds.
Come on.
And I want to follow all you guys. I don't know all you guys links. I got building community because that's how I was able to see yours. But you guys, I would love to follow you guys. Y'all follow what I got going on because I be doing a lot of interviews. You know, I'm the founder of the Black Lives Matter prison chapter. And when that happened, see, what I did, this is our little flag right here because I got the Bloods and Crips together out here in California, right?
Right.
So I brought the Bloods and Crips together under one cause.
Man.
And I got them in these prisons out here doing our thing, and we done came together. And there was a time.
Question.
There was something.
I'm so sorry. I want to ask you because based on what you're saying, and by the way, I just followed you, so we like please let's connect. You know, so what I wanted to say in those scenarios, how have you seen ego play out, and how have you overcome it? Same question that Logic was asking previously, because I can imagine, you know, in your position, you can have a lot of history. You could have people jockeying for power, not lack, just like we were talking about. Do you have any examples of working your way through ego in order to bring these people together?
Well, you know what? Because I've been incarcerated for so long and I've been frontline in this, whether it was activism. Well, it started because I was a gang member at first. I was a Blood out of LA. And when I came to prison, like I've been incarcerated since I was 16. I'm 49 now. So when I turned 18, they sent me straight to prison. I was on the maximum security yards in California. And the thing is, Bloods and Crips was not gangbanging on each other in prison. So I was confused about that. And then a lot of them older brothers back in the days, them the ones that started educating me. And when they start educating me, they start educating me from a different perspective from what I learned from the streets. They start my culture, myself from a culture standpoint. I start loving who I am. Once I start loving who I am, I love who you are now.
Oh.
You're no longer a nigga in my eyes. You're a brother in my eyes.
Let me jump.
So once I realize that you're a brother, and you're not a nigga, that's when I start realizing that, wait a minute, why would I do something to my brother? Because I'm not going to do nothing to my brother, but I might do something to a nigga. So I had to kill that old mentality. And once I start killing that old mentality, I seen a growth. And what came that growth? That's when I started realizing that, wait a minute, I've been incarcerated for a murder I didn't even do, but I'm here for a purpose.
That's right. That's right.
And that purpose is to get those that look like me, that I will, once I start coming up in ranks, dudes that looks up to me within these prisons, start utilizing that information that I have and start giving it to them. And once I start giving it to them, so they can start not seeing me as no nigga no more, start seeing me as their brother. So throughout the years, it was a little more easy for me to really get something like this, Bloods and Crips, Bay Areas and all this to come together and coexist as one. Because on these yards, on these prison yards with maximum security, we're not gangbanging or nothing on each other. I mean, there'd be some little things throughout, you know, every now and then, but overall, we don't do that up in here. So if we don't do that in here, why isn't we doing it on the street? The contradictions with that, the contradictions was so cold that I realized that we got to do something. Because we got to do away with these contradictions. We're not gangbanging in prison, but we're going to do it back on the streets. And we got to do something about this. And doing something about it, we have to realize that we got to go back into our real culture, because the stuff that the perception of today of what our culture is being polluted. It's a cold contradiction. and our culture is heavily rooted in our music.
Come on.
I love our music, but I don't love what we hear. Because what we hear, a lot of us, we're quick to say, you know, oh, I just like the beat. I ain't tripping what he's saying. But we not realize what the subconscious mind is taking in. It's the beat. The beat, you know, the beat gonna always hypnotize you. But the subconscious mind is recording the trash. So you don't realize why the trash is coming out of you. The trash is coming out of you because the subconscious mind done recorded all the trash. And now this is why you still acting like a nigga. So we got to figure out a way. We got to figure out a way to snatch our culture back and start giving it back to the people the way it's supposed to was designed to be. Because we're confused right now. So you wanted to say something?
Yeah, let me jump in. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. I listened to your last interview, Keep Six. Free Lamar Steed as well. You know what I mean? But I want to just plug something in because it's along the lines of what my brother Jay is saying. So right now I'm in Ghana, the motherland, Africa. What I'm trying to do now is bring people from prison here, like a trip, like a getaway, a spiritual retreat. Because as what Jay was saying, people need to connect with their ancestors, their history. We lost that. You understand what I'm saying? Our history for us start from the plantations, not the pyramids. You know what I'm saying? We started from the plantation. That's when we started. You know what I mean? Black man history, right? So I want us to come here. I want to bring ex-offenders, people coming out of jail, formerly incarcerated from UK, America, and Canada here. So that's what I'm working on right now. You know what I'm saying? So for those who's watching, there's a GoFundMe page, formerly incarcerated diasporas, bringing them back to Africa. What I'm doing is connecting them with their roots. So the first place we're going to go is Elmina Castle, the slave dungeons. We're going to visit the slave dungeons and we're going to see, you know, revisit that, because what happened, I'm trying to tap into the emotions of us. As the brother said, the niggas and all this N-word and all this, how we looking at each other, our thoughts is distorted, right? So now trying to re-educate. So if they revisit their past and see what our ancestors been through and come back to, you know, their respective cities, you think they're still going to kill somebody or want to, you're going to change up. You didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tag into Malcolm X. Malcolm X, when he went to Mecca, when he went to Ghana, and he seen the different the Muslims, he had a different perspective on Islam. Like, yo, this is universal. And he was switching up because he was exposed. So we in our city mind. When I was living in New York, I'm a New York state of mind, straight up street. And when I moved down south, I was like, oh shoot, young man got a job, he got a car, and in high school, and he ain't going to jail. I'm doing that. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, we're not exposed to certain things, and that's why we trap psychologically in the prison of our mind, not only in the prison right there. So right now, brother, I'm glad for you because you're free. You understand what I'm saying? And sometimes it takes prison for your freedom. You understand what I'm saying? Malcolm X said that as well. He said, Malcolm X said, sometimes the best people, some people need to be in prison to get what they need. Sometimes you need to be away because you could have been dead and gone. So you definitely have to look at it on the flip side. You want a young man on the street gang banging? You know what I mean? You could have been dead, but you were still alive. You got life, bro. So you in your life, and you say you changing the gang culture in prison. Yo, bless you. Bless you. You're doing God's work. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of times we can be bitter of our circumstances, but sometimes that makes you to who you be. You understand? That great leader that you are. You couldn't see that on the road because you would have been all up in the politics. So you have to be behind the wall to get your mind right. So this is one of the elements that we are trying to tap into. You know what I mean? So bless you. I don't want to take up no more of your time. I would rather hear you speak as well because you're kicking it. You from behind the walls, man. Much love to everyone on this platform. But Jay, freedom is a must, and we riding for you.
Yo.
Let me just piggyback off what he said. Please. I always say I'm more freer than a lot of people that's on the street. Because if this ain't free, then you more trapped than I am. So yes, and I want to give shouts out to, you know, a lot of my people, they done tuned in, like my brother Joseph P. Langdon. That brother, he just did 22 years in prison. He's been out almost 6-7 months now. He originally from New York. That brother, me and him, we done connected. We got No Comrades Left Behind. That's one of our organizations. That brother is so strong. He's a good example of when a person educates himself consciously. When he reaches up the conscious level of the black consciousness, He's a brother that showed that he done got out within his last almost a year he been out, and he did a lot for a community in a whole different state he wasn't even a part of, but he went out there and built that community. Well, he's building that community. And he done, and like since me and him been together, we've been building together. And we got people from like all over that done tapped in, like my one of my other little comrades, Glow, she's out of Canada. I got her doing work for us because like I say, I'm the founder of Black Lives Matter Prison Chapter, and I'm the vice president of No Comrades Left Behind. And this is what we do. And you said that about going back to Africa. Is it formerly incarcerated diaspora? Is that what you said?
Yes, yes.
These are the things that I would love to get involved in. I know my brother Joseph and my other brother, King Gouda. He's also King Gouda. All my people that's coming on now, King Gouda, Joseph, OG Tech out of Atlanta. We're doing music together right now. What we doing? We got I got my documentary about to come out based on my life. Like this right here is one of my books. Okay. This is my book when I was on the street talk. Well, I just had this published. This is The Life and Times of an LA Blood, Shattered Mirror by Jay Burton. This is me. This is me coming up in Watts, California. But my second book is God's Son Buried Alive, which is based on my documentary that we'll be putting out sometime, probably late January, February. And the reason why I brought this up is because we are pressing hard. We are pressing hard to de-educate, then re-educate our people over here.
That's right. That's right.
So we can have them connections, because we do need them connections back to our mother. See, we've been cut off from our mother. So we don't know the knowledge that she has. So we need to connect back to our mother. Once we connect back to her, that'll even make, because look, because I am conscious, I'm not all the way there yet. I haven't connected back with my mother yet. What you know, my mother, she the one gave me birth. I'm not talking about my mother in LA. I'm talking about my mother in Africa. So I got to reach back to my mother and you know, reconnect with her. Then everything it'll come into a full circle. I understand why I'm here. But I am doing the job the best that I can from these prison grounds, brother.
Man, yo, we appreciate you, yo. Yo, there's actually a brother that on here that I want to bring on, brother King Spade. But yo, Jay, I want you to stick on. Like, we usually end at 12, but I'm led by the spirit, man, to keep this going. You feel me? So, so yo, what was gonna say, man, brother Eddie, I'm gonna release you right now, man. I appreciate you tapping in and building. But if you have like some, you know, closing words to add on, go ahead.
Yeah. So just I gotta GoFundMe because I'm trying to raise money. You know what I'm saying? It's not backed by no organization. So GoFundMe, formerly incarcerated diasporas returning to Africa. You know what I'm saying? We need to revisit our ancient history to know where we're going. A tree without its roots, a tree without not knowing your past is like a tree without its roots. Marcus Garvey. So thank you. Bless you. All right, and I follow you. I'm the dying thief. I'm Jay. I seen you. I seen you. You know what I mean? So we follow each other already, but let's connect. Blows, we work together too. So those are my peoples. I got a few of my peoples on here. That away, Willis, bless up. All right, take care.
Peace. All right, done know, man. Yo, I'm gonna bring on brother King Spade, man. Peace. But yo, Jay, man, I want you to really speak on, you know, like you mentioned about being more free, you know, like mentally and whatnot. And I'm curious to know, like, what are some things that you've done to like maintain that, you know? And because like I said, like I'm just blown away by like your energy, your aura. Like there's just so much like hope, so much like resilience, like so much freedom, you know, that I sense within you. And I'm just blown away, man. So I'm curious to know, like, what are some things that you've done to really nurture that?
Well, you know, it was the people that, a lot of times it's the people that support me on the streets. They basically give me they give me that fuel to keep going. And I also realized that when I was young, remember I came very young. So when certain dudes had educated me when I first came into the prison system, I realized later in life what they were doing. They seen something in me and they was preparing me. So when these guys prepared me, I was ready for it. At first, I didn't really fully get it until I set them isolation units for years at a time. And I started realizing there was times like this, like from 2006 all the way to 2015. They had me with out here. It's called the shoot. That's the isolation unit. They isolated me for 9 years. They was trying to break us. And it took us to have 3 hunger strikes. 2013 was the last one. It was the biggest hunger strike in American history. About 30,000 prisoners hunger strike for us to get out them isolation units. But the thing is, there was times that I wanted to break. I couldn't do it no more. But I realized I might get a letter from my daughter or somebody or a friend or advocate that told me to just push forward, even though they didn't use them words. There's certain things they say. It gave me back that fuel to just like, okay, I got a little more fuel to go a little more further. And when I realized when them people started, all these people that was in prison and the few people we had on the street that was advocating for us to get from out of them lockup units, I realized that these people are putting their lives on the line for me. Not just me, but for other people. But I'm using me, speaking of I right now. So that means, why would I disappoint these people that's putting themselves out there for me, and I go and just hang myself or whatever? So it was throughout the years, it's the people that I had in my life that gave me that extra fuel to get to the next day. So within the last 2 years, I've been really advocating. I've been advocating real hard because I've been having access to phones now. Because like I said, they had me locked up in the isolation units for years. So in the last 2 years, I've been having access to these phones. These phones been giving me a voice now. See, I have no longer been voiceless anymore. Because there's times that our voice are shut down behind these walls, but now my voice is not shut down anymore. They cannot contain me anymore. They can kill me today, but you know what? I done so much in the last 15 months for the people, not just in here, but the people out there. I done so much that my word will continue to live no matter what. I've done my part. Yeah.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, brother.
Yo, well, no, like, I mean, we want to keep on here as long as possible. I got brother King Spade, man, who's like a brother I respect, who's like deeply knowledge, and you know, I just want to let him like do his thing, man. So King Spade, man, welcome. You've been listening and hearing what's going on, and I know that you're very solution based. So I want you to just, you know, do your thing, brother.
Peace, my brother, and thank you for having me on. Wow. If I didn't come on any other time, then sooner or later, but wow, this is a vibration that I'm experiencing right now, and I can't believe that you've been doing this right now. My brother, we are coming for you, not in a hostile way. Since you've been in jail this whole time, a lot of things have changed on the planet. A lot of things. Yeah. And one of the things I've changed on the planet is this. My name is King Spade, but I only go under that alias because of safety reasons.
Yeah.
But I am Noble Camera El Bay for the nation of our nation, which is the true original organic nation of the United States. When you look at that US dollar bill, you're looking at 2 countries. And since 2017, we have built back ourselves to the point that we have our own currency. And one of the programs that we have right now is to come get back our people out of the jail systems. How? Okay. Because all of you are in there by false accusations. And none of the cases, and I mean this goes for everybody in there. None of the cases are valid, especially after 2019. So there's multiple ways for you to get out right now. One of them is you can wait till we get to your state, which is California, because we're doing every state one by one and releasing all of our brothers and sisters from out of the it's not a prison. What you're doing is paying a debt. What you're doing is paying a debt. You're locked up for paying a debt. And what we've done so far is we paid over $66 trillion to get you guys out of jail. So you have a choice, brother. You can either wait for us to come get you or do your part by shutting down the SIN number. The SIN number is the only reason why you all are in there, because that's a warehouse of bonds and they're selling you on the stock market. And because of what happened in 2019, the stock market's about to crash, and all of those bonds that you guys are in there for, they're not valid no more. And this is why we get to come for you for a lot of reasons. The world has changed, and it's in your hands right now, our hands, to govern the world again. And it's through your pedigree. All this black and white stuff was all made up for us to run after the color stuff when it had nothing to do with the color stuff. All of this whole thing for 150 years has nothing to do with your skin tone. That's something that we put in our minds to go running around thinking that's the excuse on the planet of commerce. When really, ignorance of the law, there is no excuse.
Yeah.
Learn civics, family, because the tables have turned and we are in power again. The organic constitution with the 13 amendments and 20 sections in it, it gets you out of that jurisdiction. Also, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, also to get you out of that jurisdiction. Study those things. They're not theory. It's really real. We have our own stuff going on right now, and we're trying to break everybody out, but we have to be, there's so many of us, and they're acting like what I'm doing, but we have to be under the radar. So this is the first time, even my friends here that we meet every week, is the first time they're hearing my name and and the power that we have here. We are the power. We are the pyramid people, and our power is now changing and getting stronger and stronger. It's just the media is not going to tell you this. The reason why there's a COVID-19 is because the world is shut down, and they are broke, and we are on top right now. We've taken over states, certain states in the southern states, shut down police stations. You don't even know. Like, everything is going bankrupt, and we have over $66 trillion lien over United States corporation, which is not a country. It's not a country, friend.
Exactly.
Take yourself out of the ward system. How? Turn off your SSN number. That's the only reason why you're in there, because they're charging you through your SSN number. You got charges. That means you're paying for charges, and they're collecting. When your SSN number is shut down, they can never charge you, never again. Not even for spitting on the street.
So two things real quick. Like, how do you turn off the SSN number? And then also too, like, when it comes to like civics, can you speak to like I guess like the importance of that and why like understanding this language is important? But we'll start with the SNN number.
The SSN number is exactly what we have in Canada. It's called the SIN number.
Right. Every
country in the world has a national number just like that, that's connected to the Federal Reserve banks around the world, especially the IMF. And what has happened in 2008, the international world found out that they've been trafficking humans through their birth certificate and the SSN number, or the SIN number. Because of that, they stopped the world trade and world trading, and they froze all the credit to all of Canada, to US, to Britain, to Australia. Everywhere that the Queen and the Pope own is all frozen right now. And they're not selling and trading no more treasury bonds, because that's what your birth certificate is. When you're at the age of 14, you're supposed to shut that birth certificate off, and we didn't get to shut it off. And because we didn't get to shut it off, ever since you were a child, from 16 years old, the police has been after you because they know that you have you've abandoned your duties as to shut off that bond, and you didn't shut off the bond. And because we're not knowledgeable about that, 99% of our people end up in jail for crimes that are not under crimes. The crime that you're locked up for, brother, is called a commercial crime. And the court you went to was an Article 1 court, which is not a Supreme Court, which means that they were doing everything unlawful. Study law and trust law, because that's what they're doing right now. This whole world runs off of trust. Also, my brother in jail, do a 1099. In the U.S., they have a 1099. When you went to jail, what they did was they claimed the bond. There's a bond that they put out, whether it was a bail bond or a warrant bond, an arrest bond. All those bonds were put on your name when you got charged. But what the court's fraudulently doing is not paying the taxes to the United States government for those bonds, and they're all written under your name. You're the one who issued them. So they waited through all the times that you made appearances, and you didn't say nothing about it. Neither did your lawyer or anybody around you. And they did that on purpose because the lawyers actually 100% work with them because they're part of the Bar Association for the Queen. So when it came to the trial, what the trial lawyer did was bond the case and took the bond, and now you're in jail for the bond itself, because they have to keep you there. So they have to keep you alive because the bond won't be good if you're not alive. So kill the bond by paying the tax on it because you're there already. So you might as well finish paying the tax on it by doing a 1099. And I'm pretty sure you can do it because you got a cell phone in your cell. So I'm pretty sure you guys can get some paperwork up in there. So you know, do a 1099. I'm serious. Do a 1099 on your case, on the case number. The case number is a CUSIP number. It's an account number attached to your SIN number, which is your social insurance number.
Let me ask you something. So is it 1099? Is that like under a penal code, or is it just 1099? Is it
it's a 1099? You get it from the IRS.
Oh, IRS. Okay.
Yeah, 1099. It's called 1099 OID. The courts haven't paid the taxes on it, so they stole it and put it into their trust. If you do a 1099, you're going to claim the taxes because you're the one who issued the bond in the first place, and your signature made that bond live.
Okay.
It's against the law for a company to have assets like that. They've been doing human trafficking, and where you are is a human trafficking center, and so is the courts.
All right.
So now, if you even pulled up your case again and tried it again, you can charge them for crimes against humanity, because that's what's been happening on this planet. It's a crime against humanity to what they did to our people over the generations and generations.
You know, I hear this information, not a lot, but I hear this information which you just spoke on, because I was a jailhouse lawyer for a minute, and some of the guys that I ran into, they were speaking about sovereignty and things like that, and it basically is along the lines of what you're saying.
Yeah.
And at one time I was trying to learn more about it, but when I was in the lockup unit, that's when they came and they took all that stuff. Well, so I'm hearing it from you now. I'm hearing it from you, and it's basically some of the stuff that they was already telling me, but you just explained it on a real deep level. Why is it that our people don't have this information? Or we need to develop this type of university to start getting this information to our people.
Well, that's what I've done.
And start activating. I'm talking about really activating.
Oh,
we got to activate.
We're doing that, brother. It's just I own 3 schools right now, and my classes are with everybody in the world. Everybody in my class, I have over 500 students in my class, and they're either from the United States, Britain, the islands, and Canada. And we do this every weekend because we have to get the word out to them, because this is knowledge. It's not hidden knowledge. It's just we weren't privy to understanding how this world is made and how the make of this world is running, and it's mechanics, it's ingenuity. Well, I'll tell you this: the whole world runs off commerce. That's it. And everything is a commercial lien. And because they're bankrupt, I believe 0 plus 0 still 0, fellas. Is 0 plus 0 still 0? Well, that means he can't be in jail. What they did was they put their bond inside of they took your bond, brother, and put it in their trust. And all you have to do is kill the account to it. All of those brothers in there have to kill the account. The only crimes there are, if you have a pen, the only crimes that there are is that you can actually commit to actually go to jail for real internationally, is if you hurt somebody or you damage property, right? But because they're doing the case in their courts, it's not a real case no more. We have our own courts too right now, all over the U.S. We have our own courts, not no U.S. European courts. I'm talking about our national pedigree courts of the ancient Americans, because that's what you are. You're an ancient American living in America, and the Queen Khalifa owned California.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Right? So you're an ancient American, and the Republic has been back in the restore. As of October 15th, our original constitution, because we're the ones who wrote the constitutions and all of the treaties on the planet. And our original constitution, as of October 15th of this year, has been reinstated and established again. So learn civics and learn law, get out of there. And if you can't wait for us, that's fine. But we're coming for everybody, especially in the California area. We already started in the South, the West Coast, where Seattle is. We're going to New York and grabbing all the prisoners out of the jail systems, because United States has fallen. 2019.
Yeah.
Yo, if I could just say a quick word. I don't know where in the chat, but the chat has been active. I want to big up everyone who's in the chat, but I do remember, I don't know where it is right now, but Anand's Creation did mention that they also are interested in doing work that you know, that with people who are suffering from imprisonment, you know. So yeah, the chat is lively. And also, I'm gonna have to bounce out pretty soon.
It's all good.
So I don't know if you want to hold it down.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's what you need. Yeah.
Just building on that, you know, because sometimes, like, I think like this language may go over like people's heads and whatnot. So like, what would be kind of like the step-by-step like process, you know what I mean? And like, you know, because it sounds like it's almost like too good to be true, you know what I mean? But with all due respect, I'm just saying, like, but like how do you, like, what are like the steps to like actually, like, you know, really move forward with this process?
He has to recognize that he's not locked up in there for anything else but paying debt to the United States corporation. It is a corporation, no different than McDonald's or Walmart. Just like Walmart, the same power that Walmart has is the same power that the United States has. You have to recognize that you are in there and they're holding your estate. So what you got to do is do an affidavit called reversion of estate and a proclamation. Reversion of estate affidavit, that's one document. A proclamation, and that's another document, and a declaration to declare yourself not a U.S. citizen and expatriate yourself out of there, out of the U.S. system. Because you never took an oath to be a U.S. citizen in the first place. You were probably born there. And I'm just speculating because I don't know you, but I know this is the problem with most of our people, is that you thought you took an oath to the country and you never took an oath to the country.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you said revision of the state, proclamation, and what else?
Reversion of a state.
Or reversion.
Yeah, reversion of a state.
Okay, reversion of the state, proclamation, and what else?
Declaration, declaring that you're expatriating yourself out of the U.S. corporation system. Even though you didn't take an oath anyway, the world works off of claims. That you make a claim and say, hey, I'm not down with this U.S. thing. I never was a U.S. citizen in the first place. And you can shut down your SIN number.
Oh, wow. I got that. I like that. See, I've never had it, you know, you kind of simplify a lot of stuff as well. But I've never had it at, but the way you kind of like made things a little simple based on the way you broke it all down. Because like I said, I've been hearing about this for years, but a lot of times when guys was educating me, it was because we're like in lockup units and we kind of distance. So it's kind of hard for me to grasp onto it.
Yeah.
Like, and you in this little talk that we had, you basically simplified it, and it's crazy because the way you simplified that information, we can somehow start getting this information to the people abroad.
Yep.
So we can start freeing ourselves.
Yes.
Because this is crazy. Something that's simple. I'm sure it got some little kinks in it, but something that's simple to free ourselves, because all of us want to be free. But we don't know how to go about it. And some of us that found the way to go about it, they probably too scared to go about it. Well, so the thing is, I'm not scared. And I'm glad I like the information you give me, and I'm going to start, you know, doing my own little research on it. Because like I said, I've been told this several times, but now, you know, it's time for me to activate it.
Yes.
Hey, peace, God. I just want to say peace to the gods, you know what I'm saying? Peace to the God up there, you know what I'm saying? Free up real soon. Hey, my brother was just in prison in Cali. You know what I mean? He just came out this year, 2020. You know what I'm saying? He's been out for a couple months, and he everything that the God Noble Camerel is talking about. My brother just went through all of that. So I'm gonna connect you with my brother because he's in the same state, right? And then he can help you with the paperwork because we got some folks in there too. We got another dude in there right now. His name's Scripture Raw, and he's
that's my comrade. That's my comrade.
Scriptures Raw?
This is a good time. Yeah.
No way. Small world.
Small world.
Scripture, that's my comrade. He was just on the yeah, that's my comrade.
Tell him you're speaking with Kenya. That's my people. That's my folks.
You said Kenya?
Yeah, Kenya.
All right, I tell you.
Hey, yo, for the people who are just joining us, man, like, yo, this is a pretty exclusive conversation right now, man. Like, you know, we were talking about, like, ego and whatnot, and then now we have, like, the brother, man, who's broadcast live, man, from California in prison, but now we're looking at different ways of what freedom looks like, you know, like how we can utilize the knowledge that we have now in the current situations to free our peoples, you know.
Yes.
Super salute, man. And that's what we're doing here, man. Stolen from Africa, man. This is our weekly check-in, you good fam. As you can see, man, this is our virtual community check-in. No matter where we are in this globe, man, the meeting of the minds. And we're going to continue doing the work, man, inspiring each other, man. And yo, man, let's get free, man. Like we on the path. We're doing it. It is done. It's manifested. And this conversation was just super inspiring. It's given me the fuel to keep going and doing what I'm doing, man. Like this is what it's all about, man. So I want to big up everybody who has contributed, the people in the chat, man. You already know what it is.